You're listening to CFRC 101.9 FM, broadcasting from Kingston, Ontario since 1922. Find and follow us on Instagram at CFRC Music. Coming up on this special community takeover of our airwaves, we're talking to Liz and Marion from AKA Autonomous Social Centre, an anti-capitalist, anti-state, and anti-colonial autonomous organizing space in Katarokwi, Kingston since 2008. AKA is home to the Blue Heron Books and Zines community bookstore and zine distribution shop, which strives to provide and promote radical, anarchist, and anti-authoritarian books and media less readily available from mainstream sources or local venues such as libraries. Folks are invited to come by during operating hours to read in the space and engage in conversations with each other, collective members, and volunteers, and they aim to promote the exchange of ideas. You're tuned into CFRC 101.9 FM, and on this afternoon's special community takeover of our airwaves, I have two folks here from AKA the Autonomous Social Centre, Marion and Liz. So welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So you have an event coming up this weekend, which we'll get into shortly, but I thought to start, we could just talk about who you are and what you do, because it's a lot.
Yeah, I can start. Yeah, so we're AKA Autonomous Social Centre, which is a physical space downtown Kingston, 75 Queen Street, up the ramp. We have a lending library and a bookstore in there and a big zine archive and then a free store. It's also the home office base for OPERG Kingston and the base for Calls from Home radio show other than CFRC, and Mutual Aid Gardens, which is our big kind of community garden project. And the space kind of strives to be a spot where people can meet and organize and connect that is not policed in the same way that other institutions are. The kind of origins of it were a bunch of people in Kingston were getting over and over again kicked out for doing political organizing, specifically anarchist, autonomous, anti-poverty organizing. And so the concept for the space kind of came about so that people could have a home base, and we try to provide that. There's a bunch of groups that do use the space kind of regularly to meet, and we encourage that. In the years past, we've done lots of programming and events out of the space and come in waves, depending on everyone's capacity and focus at the moment. But the past few years, we've had some kind of long-term projects that most of us have been focusing on, and then other people have been using the space to host meetings. The Mycelium Network and Beyond the Binary both meet there regularly, and we're really open to having more groups use the space and take advantage of that. So get in touch.
Well put.
And I don't know if there are roles or projects perhaps that you two are spearheading that you wanted to talk specifically about. Is it all volunteer?
Do the anarchists have roles? How do they do it? Are they just people? No, it's a good question. I feel like, okay, there's a couple questions. In the group, kind of the main AKA group itself, I think there's informal roles mainly, which is helpful. I think we all play to our strengths, and a lot of that is just based on our strengths in our relationships and what needs to get done.
Yes, who's available to do what and who knows how to do what, I think is kind of governs the operation of the house mostly. Like, there's not very many of us who kind of keep the place running on the regular, and we divide the work as we're able to the most part. Yeah, I
think structures that allow people to do things based on capacity are very underrepresented.
Yes, truly.
It's great to see. I mean, I think you were a goat too, right?
Yes, yeah. Similar vibe. Like, you lean into your skills and call on help when you don't have those skills.
You've touched on some of the groups that use the space. Maybe we could talk a little bit more about some of the specific activities that you do together, what a typical week might look like if there is such a thing. Because I know there are some regular hours and some regular spaces that you do hold there.
So probably the most regular thing that goes on in AKA during the week is Blue Heron open hours. Blue Heron Books and Zines is the library lending project. So that encompasses the library, which has anarchist books, but also other things. We have it split into different sections. There's a fiction section and a feminist section and an anti-racism section, and et cetera, et cetera.
Really big graphic novel and comic section, actually. It's pretty excellent.
Yes, yeah. So, it's not your average public library stuff, but anyone can come and sign up for like a library membership like you would at a public library, kind of, and come borrow things. And then we also have used books for sale. So Blue Heron Books and Zines also coordinates the sale of used books, and that's more or less like a way of generating money for the project because it's not a funded project. It's a project that's paid for through money generating activities like selling used books, and then also just our sweat and tears.
Yeah.
And the sweat and tears of many who have,
come before.
yeah, and been involved in the project. Yeah, people coming together and trying to do some shit they really care about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is all volunteer run. Yeah, the open bookstore hours are Mondays from 3 to 7 and Thursdays from 5 to 7. People should come by.
Just looking at Blue Heron's website, for example, you talk about it's kind of like a library, but not really, talking about some of the books that you have in there, and the intention being that it's not mainstream. It's things that you might not find on the library shelves. And even like referencing graphic novels and comics, I really feel like they are underappreciated for the messages and the content that they can include. I don't think they should be overlooked by folks because you can say a lot in a very concise way with those.
Yes, I agree.
And sometimes get them out a lot faster, obviously, than you can writing a 300 or 400 page treatise.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think part of the interest in kind of maintaining this library project and that communication is just providing lots of ways for people to digest information and engage with political ideas, their political autonomy and things like that. And graphic novels and fiction are the main ways that I do that because I'm not great at reading nonfiction. So I think that, however people want to engage with that and come to the library, we're open to. We've had lots of book clubs in the past and book launches and movie screenings, and we like talking about that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Maybe before we get into the Blue Heron related activity that we're going to be talking about, are there any other activities that you want to mention? Any other things going on?
Yeah, I mean, we welcome any kind of engagement, and if people have questions about how the space can be used or rented or things like that, we'd love to talk to people. And then we also do engage with a lot of people right now in this season with growing things. So the Mutual Aid Garden Projects kind of has its home base out of AKA too. So that has been a main way that we do a bunch of work in the community in the summertime. If people are interested in gardening or spending time outside or getting to know people or getting some free food, then Mutual Aid Gardens can also be an avenue to kind of get involved and learn more.
And you recently had one. How often do the Mutual Aid, or are you involved with the Totally Free Market?
Yeah, the really, really free veggie markets. Yeah. So we had our first one, not this past weekend, but the one before. And then our next one, August 9th, I want to say.
There's a group of us, we typically end up getting together in like February and setting all of our market dates. We've had it at different frequencies before. I think this year we have it every 3 weeks.
Yeah, there's 5 this summer, I think. And then we've had a bunch of other events. Like we had an Intro to Herbalism workshop this past weekend that our wonderful work study student helped organize with the Katarokwi Herbalist Collective. So the market dates are August 9th at 2 p.m. and that's at the Fire Lane between 106 and 140 Compton Street. The one after that is August 30th at 2 p.m. at 52 Bayswater behind the Red Lobster. And then on September 20th, we're going to be at Coffee Way, Division and Concession Street at 2 p.m. And then October 11th, our last one will be back at the Fire Lane between 106 and 140 Compton Street. All at 2 p.m.
I'll just explain a little bit more also about the Gardens Project. Yeah. I think part of the impetus behind that was seeing during COVID just this moment of like pandemic survival times when it first started and everyone was just like flooding to the grocery store and buying up all the toilet paper for themselves. It was very much the Gardens Project a reaction against that, of being like, if there's just a shortage of things that everyone needs, let's come together and figure out creative ways to get everything we need together. Let's figure out how to survive together in a communal way, not in an individualist way where we all just hoard in our basements in the suburbs. We're not interested in that. We want to do something different, and doing something different that's also not just depending on the state to come save us every time there's a big problem, of which we're going to see more and more big problems more and more frequently between climate crisis and rising authoritarianism and just all of these things coming together. There has never been a better time to just not be a jerk to your neighbor. Like, I don't know.
Build those connections and collective capacity as opposed to kind of squirreling away, because that won't suit anyone for very long.
And you probably in your individual household don't actually have the skills to survive. So why are you even acting in that way? That's dumb.
Not
as well as like not ethical.
Yeah.
It's both.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. There's like so few, I think, zombie apocalypse scenarios that people imagine where they're with a group, right? Yeah. It's all this solo survival. And it's realistically, that's not going to serve you very well.
You got like 6 months doing that?
Yeah. Like, you have limited skills that you're able to pick up. You have to sleep. What if you get sick?
Yeah.
Sir, you work a white collar job.
Yeah.
You don't know how to do the things you need to do to survive.
Yeah.
And YouTube won't be there to help you.
It's all full of AI slop now anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trade and barter seems to be coming back too. But I think this is a great example of it. And I think maybe one that's more natural for people to think of. We do have skills that we can share with each other. Resources doesn't always have to be an item, right?
Yeah.
It can be a talent that you have or knowledge that you have that you can share as well. So
Yeah.
very cool to have that kind of dialogue happening.
People like giving their time and space to do something together, I think, is way more powerful and capacity building for everyone than, just trying to learn something alone. Mm-hmm. So we try and do that in most aspects of our project, I think. Also because it is a lot of the way our own brains work. It's easier sometimes to motivate with others than by yourself. So that's why we try and do this together.
So you have an event coming up on the weekend on August 1st. I wonder if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to have a big indoor-outdoor book sale and vintage stuff, and we usually have some really cool collectibles and things like that, and we invite people to come and explore the space, and then the alley and backyard we usually set up, and it's kind of a fun time. People are usually like, oh, I didn't know this was back here. It's a cool time to connect and meet people. We have good music playing usually, and our books kind of start at $2, so it's also a good place to get a deal.
Yeah, we've always priced them pretty cheap, but as prices have raised, we haven't actually changed the prices.
We've not raised with inflation.
We have not raised with inflation, so you'll find better deals than you would have.
Get in before we change our sign.
Yeah. Before we're like, oh yeah, no, we really gotta raise those prices. We haven't yet.
And this is books across all sorts of genres. I saw some images of past events that you've done, and there's some sci-fi in there.
Yeah.
There's some cool stickers and some artwork as well. So maybe a great opportunity for people that might be too shy to walk in on a regular day. Go with a group. If you're wandering around downtown, it's right there.
Definitely. Yeah, it is kind of a way that we've met some people who have come back to events because it's kind of a customer service really friendly vibe, and then we can
here's the customer service capitalist context that you're familiar and comfortable with.
And it feels easy for people to do, to be honest. And I say that kind of flippantly, but truthfully, it is an easier social interaction that people know what to expect, and if that leads to something more and it means that people are more comfortable to engage with a political thing or to think about using the space with their friends to try and organize something, then this is a great way to get to meet us in the space.
And what time is that happening?
From 10 to 5. We'll be there all day long. We do it during the Princess Street Promenade. So if you're coming to the promenade, you can follow our chalk signs, which Marion will probably do in the morning, down to the book sale.
They're very effective. I've noticed them every time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The CFRC has a table at the promenade, so we can
Nice. Visit both.
Folks.
Yeah.
And when you come to the used book sale, don't miss CFRC's table on Princess Street at the Princess Street Promenade. It's a perfect day, people.
It is.
It plans itself.
Yeah, that sounds like a ton of fun. And as you say, like a good way to have that gentle introduction. Because I think sometimes, I feel like terminology in general, if people don't quite understand what it means, can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
And so sometimes the best way that you can learn something is just having a conversation. If you're reading something in a dictionary or trying to find it in an academic journal, you're going to be scared off pretty quickly.
Agreed.
And so when you can see the application and reasoning behind something in a non-intimidating and in conversation, I think that's a great opportunity too.
Totally.
So.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like anarchists all have a different way of practicing anarchism and different priorities. And this group, we have our own way of doing that and our own priorities. And our priorities are not about terminology. They're really about ethics. That's why our main one rule is in AKA, in the space, is don't be an asshole. That encompasses so much. And you don't need to know any fancy words.
Nope.
Just be genuine and don't be a jerk.
Want to engage in like caring for your neighbors and yourself and learning new skills and making sure that we all kind of survive the coming hard times, then we want to talk about that.
If people want to find out more about what you have coming up, what you do, if they want to be reminded of events, do you have social media, a website, newsletters?
Yeah, we do social media. We also do have an email list, but we haven't used it in a long time. I think the best way to kind of stay abreast of most of our events would be to follow OPIRG's big event newsletter, which is Ear to the Ground. It is a really great aggregate of cool rad events happening in town. So all of our stuff will be on there. And then you can message us on Instagram or email us at germinations@riseup.net.
And Blue Heron has their own website.
Yes.
It's not the best way to find out
not
about
the best way to
current things.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We're very small.
Yeah, one of our skill building areas is online stuff, but we've all kind of moved into the physical realm the past few years. Yeah.
We've moved into the physical realm. What a good way to
we're
put
less
it.
online.
We're
Yeah.
less online.
Yeah.
We're touching grass right now.
Truly.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of people, I think there is this pullback from online culture, and it's so easy to feel really gross really quickly when you're online too much. So go meet people, find out things by seeing them in person and experiencing it in person.
The online space has just become less and less hard to kind of be private and not commercial and not kind of surveilled. So that has, I think, led to us having less fun online.
Significantly.
Yeah.
If people want to support what you're doing, either as a volunteer or donating books or buying tickets to events, are there opportunities for them to do so?
Totally. Yeah, you can come buy books anytime we're open, and then during these big sales, we definitely encourage that. We also do accept book donations. We've gotten a lot of really cool kind of contributions to both our library and our book sales that way.
Yeah, shout out to all the profs who have donated to us. Incredible stuff, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's like from the bottom of my heart. It's gone such a long way. It's really appreciated.
Agreed.
We accept any quantity of books, and if there's a microwave cookbook in there, we'll still take that bag. Our standards are not that high.
Yeah,
we want your books. If you're not going to use them, don't give them to Value Village. Give them to us.
Yes. And we do accept donations. People can come into the space or get in touch with us to donate because we are a volunteer run and scrape by these book sales and our own contributions. So yeah, if that's something people feel moved to do, they are welcome.
And I know sometimes you put calls out for volunteers, for example, your open book hours.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that's something where you want people to check out the space a little bit first and get to know if it's a good link.
Yeah, we encourage people to come in. Usually people will stop by a couple times and then say, hey, I'd love to hang out more or volunteer. And then we set up some training shifts. I have someone to do that with currently. And then, if they like it, they keep signing up for shifts, and they don't.
That's fine too.
Yeah, totally fine. We've always got a lot going on, but right now it's kind of regular projects. So if you're interested in learning more about the library or gardening or using the space or Calls from Home, our call-in prison radio show, which happens on CFRC Wednesdays at 7. Calls from Home is an ongoing long-term kind of radio project that has happened at CFRC for years, and currently a bunch of us involved in AKA are the ones who are kind of keeping it going, but it was started many years ago by people, I think in Detroit at like a radio conference, heard about one of these programs where people in prisons in the listening area of the radio and family members will call in and send each other requests and messages online. So we do that every other week on Wednesdays, where people who have loved ones who are incarcerated in Kingston and the surrounding area can send songs, and then people who are incarcerated can send songs back and little messages. We have a way to leave voice notes, and people can text requests. It's really good. CFRC has 9 prisons in its listening area, so it does hit a lot of people, and it is really, really hard to stay connected and not be isolated and kind of tortured in prison. So we're hoping to break those walls down a little bit and give some people some connection.
Yeah, and in the recent few weeks, we've had actually a few different people who are regulars making requests actually say, thank you for doing this. This really means a lot to me and my loved one and my family. And like, this is another way that we can stay in communication, because you can't just call that person up anytime.
No.
So there's just such few opportunities for that contact. Yeah. It's a really valuable radio show, and I'm also very grateful to CFRC, the radio station, for supporting this show and supporting us and just being so great.
Yeah, giving us the means to do that and create that connection. It's really cool. And yeah, all the people who've kept this show going for years. We appreciate that.
It just seems like a staple of the airwaves. Yeah. But if people haven't checked that out, I know Calls From Home has a great social media presence.
We do, yeah.
So you can check that out if you want to find out the number and how to get a message out there or put in a song request.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to talk about today?
I don't think so. No. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
thank you very
a
much.
lot of stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for the awesome music as well. Some great curated picks. And I was saying before we started recording how refreshing it is when there's something a little different. It's always great when it's got a good message behind it. So really appreciate that. And Marion and Liz, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope that you have an amazing time on Saturday.
Thanks, Sarah. Really appreciate it. Thanks. It's been great.
Sign up now to take over CFRC's airwaves yourself. CFRC 101.9 FM invites all Queen's University student groups and Kingston community organizations to take over our airwaves. Join us on air for an hour to talk about your student group or community organization, and also present your own playlist of fun music chosen by your team. This is a great opportunity to talk about what your group does, how others can get involved or provide support, any big events your group has coming up, and how to keep up with the latest news about your group. Apply by visiting cfrc.ca/contact and selecting Apply for a Club Community Takeover. This project is made possible through the generous support of the Community Radio Fund of Canada's Radiometres program.